I'm Hokey Joker.
Bat Drew.
Green Lantern.
And welcome to Just Us Bros Podcast. All right, bros, welcome back to Just Us Bros Podcast. And this past weekend, we saw Marvel and Captain Marvel come back out to cinemas. As always, I'm Hokey Joker.
I'm Buzz.
And I'm Shazam.
Well, you look more like Steve Jobs unveiling the next iPhone 72 or whatever it is. So, Brie Larson finally came back for the Marvels movie, and just overall, guys, it wasn't really hyped up coming into it. You had your expectations going in. What was your opinion of the movie?
I was bored with it. I could have done without it. Do you want me to expand on that, or do you just want my
Just that, because we'll dive into the characters, plot line, all that stuff. Bat Drew.
What characters? What plot line?
Yeah,
I will say I did enjoy it. Not one of my most favorite movies I've been to, but yes, I enjoyed it. And like I said, we'll get into more of pros and cons of the movie as we continue.
All right.
How about you, Andrew Robinson, aka Hokey Joker?
I went in with very low expectations, and as the movie started, I was like, okay, this is better than I thought it was going to be. And then I hit a point, and I'm like, okay, there it is. I didn't enjoy it. It was a movie. I felt like I wasted money on it, if I'm honest. So, were there any GL? Were there any bright spots in the movie for you?
Yeah, I mean, you kind of mentioned it when you said the beginning. I really liked the beginning. They kind of got right into the action. So I guess for me, the pros are the action sequences were spot on. Um, Even though you didn't really know why they were switching places, all that stuff. The action and the fight scenes at the beginning were spot on, I thought. Um, Very well choreographed. Um, the acting by everyone was, I'd say, pretty good. Um, the I can't think of her name. Kamala.
Miss Marvel.
Kamala. She's young, so I'm going to give her a break. But she also had a whole TV show to get warmed up to. It kind of seemed like she was trying to crack jokes at different points in the movie, but the jokes just didn't land for me. And I don't know if it was that the jokes weren't funny or if her delivery wasn't funny for me. Um, uh, but I didn't laugh. Like I could tell it was supposed to be a joke, and they even like set it up as a joke and like a laughable moment, but I didn't laugh, and I don't know if I heard anybody else in the theater laugh. So, and then the ending was pretty good. I was pretty happy when it ended. So that was a highlight for me
Because it was over.
because it was over.
Yeah, I think that's why you like the ending.
Bat Drew, what was some bright moments for you in it?
Yeah. Well, like I said, I did like this movie. To me personally, it felt like there was a lot left on the cutting room floor because this movie really felt like, hey, let's get started. Let's start rolling. Keep going. Cut this out. Because it just seemed like they tried to put too much into actually the shortest Marvel MCU movie because I think it only came in at an hour and 45 minutes. And I think that's with credits. But like I said, that I did like the movie. I feel like it was a little bit too much going on for the time that it was. Like it was a grand movie that was put into an episode of like an Miss Marvel 1.5 series finale, which I liked Miss Marvel kind of. I think I watched most of it. I did, yeah, yeah. It obviously wasn't a show really aimed towards me, but I did enjoy the show, the movie too. And um I actually have to disagree with GL there with the Miss Marvel's acting in the movie and like her delivery and stuff because honestly she's Kamala, the character, and actually the actress too, I think. She's like living out her fantasy. Like I feel like you put me in a DC movie and a Batman movie, like I'm Robin, I'm gonna act like she did in that movie because I'm like, this is surreal, this is so cool. I'm living my dream and I'm meeting my heroes in real life. well, in the movie real life, but I don't know. I think I like that she was kind of like the energetic puppy of the team, and I think she actually probably like her character Kamala helped bridge the void that was put in place when because when Captain Marvel, like in Captain Marvel's movie, like the last time she saw Monica Rambeau, Monica was younger than what Kamala is. And then boom, cut to this movie, she meets Monica again. Monica's a full grown woman. Like she's been watching her and like keeping up with her life and career and stuff. But I actually think that having that dynamic where obviously there was some another Taylor Swift reference, bad blood, it seems like between Monica and Captain Marvel. Um like Kamala was maybe like a good buffer to help both of them actually ease back into getting on the same page together and not making it so hard to coexist, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement with you. I feel like Aman Vellani's portrayal of Kamala Khan was the like literally the only bright spot in the movie for me because I saw myself like you said, if I'm hanging out like I mean, I've seen you guys and you've seen me interact with celebrities at Comic Cons. Where like I don't normally dress like this, Alan Ritson. Uh, this is so cool. That was like the highlight of the movie for me. Everything else
I
was
mean, also
yeah.
also those action scenes, they were on point. I really did enjoy every action scene I saw, but also they may have explained, like Jill was saying, why they were switching when they used their powers. But to me, it felt like it wasn't enough of an explanation, or I didn't get it.
All
But
right,
that didn't take away from the action parts for me.
and
And
let's
I'll just say I'm not hating on the actress that played Kamala, and I get what you guys are saying about her portrayal as the, I guess, fangirl in the movie. So I can see that. But
yeah.
again, every joke that she cracked, every joke that she cracked fell short for me.
Yeah. All right. So moving into the plot line, like I was saying that, and I'm just going to tell you where I just lost all
What
care.
plot line?
Exactly. Plot. We're using that. It's okay. It was good going on the switching going on. Like oh, we're out in space. We're doing this. Well, the side problem that I have with is you have movies like Guardians of the Galaxy 1, 2, and 3 with this epic space adventure. This kind of felt like nothing compared to get like if you're gonna do a galaxy sort of theme, and it feels way inferior to any of the Guardians of the Galaxy, so that's sort of drawback. But my thing was when they're like, "Oh, we got to go to this water planet," and then I was like, "I'm just watching, okay." And then all of a sudden they start singing, and I'm like, "It's done. You have a musical number. I'm done." And that's when I stopped caring about the movie. And after that, it was all downhill from there. Like it was like the worst roller coaster. Like, oh, okay, okay, oh, there it is.
Well, for me, I felt like I understood that they were trying to stop the God, what is the new Ronan the Accuser's name? I can't remember.
Nobody knows. Nobody knows what the villain's name was.
She's just there.
But um I understood that the plot was to try to stop her from doing these bad things and taking resources from other planets.
She
After
was a
I honestly didn't. What? I couldn't hear
What?
you because you
Captain Planet villain.
Captain Planet villain. Is that what you're saying? Because it sounds like you're mumbling.
Yeah, like it just felt like an episode of Captain Planet, and her name is Dar-Ben.
Darbin. So I understood that Darbin was trying to take resources from planets that Captain Marvel, I guess, has connections to or loved. But I actually honestly didn't get that until the third attack from Darbin. But yeah. What was the question again?
I mean,
No,
just
no,
plot
no.
wise.
I understood. Yeah, I understood that was the plot going forward, but also it really felt like to me, even though I said this movie felt like it crammed a lot of stuff into a short amount of time, it also felt like there was no sense of urgency for me with hey, let's stop Darbin. Like they had way too much side stuff for me, I think.
GL, what'd you say about the plot again?
I remember at one point in the movie, and it was well past half point in the movie. I looked at Bat Drew. I'm like, "What's this movie about?" And he just laughed. But seriously, I was not that I was lost. Like I again, I put together what that Drew put together. So here's my synopsis of the movie if I had to explain it to somebody. It would be Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau, and Kamala Khan intertwine their powers somehow. They never really explained it. Somebody touched a witch wall, and then the other girl has a magical gauntlet that they it's from outer space, but it was also her Nana's gauntlet. And this other girl, that's the bad girl, Darvin, also has the same gauntlet. And obviously, when you get two of the gauntlets together, they're more powerful and more destructive. So you don't want that to happen. But spoiler, it happens. Um, but they're going across space and time, or not time, just they're going across space trying to fight this Darvin chick that they didn't really explain until the third act of the movie, where they said that she was targeting planets to save resources, but she was targeting places that Captain Marvel had called home at some point, because Captain Marvel went and saved her planet from some villain that she beat years ago off screen that they acted like we were supposed to know about.
Well,
But
I thought that was at the end of Marvel, the Miss or Captain Marvel.
was that at the end of Captain Marvel?
So
If it
I
was, I
don't.
forgot it. I couldn't tell you what happened in the first Captain Marvel because it came out 20 years ago. So I have
Yeah,
no idea what happened.
yeah.
So for me, they told a backstory that I have no idea what was going on. They kind of rushed it, made her to be the villain. And then I'll be honest, I think I fell asleep at the end, so I don't know how they beat her. I have no idea. I saw something spike into her, and then all of a sudden, Brie Larson is trying to reignite the sun, and then she's on a front porch somewhere. So that was my ending of the movie.
Can I tell you what I thought defeated them? And it just felt so bad. They defeated her with the power of friendship and family. Like it turned into an
Yeah.
after school special. It's like maybe you could reignite the sun. Yeah, maybe I could bring back the water. Yeah, like what the hell is this?
So seriously, what happened after she got stabbed by something, and then 'cause I think I fell
Uh,
asleep at that point.
She got both bands.
Seriously, got she promised to stop fighting them and let Captain Marvel try to heal her son. Um, Turned on them, like in Kamala down, got her bracelet, and literally tried to open up another portal and blew up because she had both bands on.
And then
Oh, and that's when Monica went through the other portal.
yeah.
Yes.
So, but my thing is another sub point. They bring in both bands, and at one point, go ahead.
Just real quick, I want to say I guess I was awake for that because I remember all that happening. It just did not make any impression on me.
Well, yeah, Kamala gets both bands, and then they shoot it into Monica, and then after that, you don't see that second band ever again. Where did it go?
How could
Carol's wearing
Kamala
it
do both of them, but this other chick couldn't?
because Kamala's a mutant,
Yeah.
and probably because she's destined to have both. Probably.
Yep. And can I tell you another moment that I tuned out and like this movie is not good? Is the whole herding cats and making them eat the entire crew. Like I thought that was so stupid.
It was a very Legends of Tomorrow moment if Legends of Tomorrow were to be on film, but it was for Legends, it would be on point. For this,
Because
it kind of seemed
yeah, it out of
for it
tone.
was out of place, especially with Samuel L. Jackson being like involved in the scene. Like it just
Yeah, the tone didn't match with what was going on. That brings me to my next point. How do you feel Sam Jackson was in this movie? Because it seemed out of character if this takes place after Secret Invasion, but it also felt like the director was like, okay, we have Sam Jackson for 3 days. Let's shoot everything real quick because he took like several back seats for me. I think
I
he was
felt like
critically.
he should have been in the backseat because this is a movie called The Marvels, not hey, let's see how much we can put Nick Fury in it.
Well,
Like he had to be in it to tie the characters together,
yeah.
but he didn't necessarily have to have a big part of it.
Well, but and I agree with that. Like, if he's going to take a back seat, make him take a back seat. But there was way too many scenes of him being quippy back and forth. Like, you're either in the back seat or you're in the front seat. You're not in between. There is no seats in between the front and back seats.
well, in all respect to Sam Jackson, he commands the room and the audience. So I mean, that's not his fault.
No, I'm just saying he was underused and overused at the same time.
How
So
would you have used him more? What would you have done more with him then?
I don't think you needed him in there. Just have like if he's going to be a back seat, put him in the back seat of like he doesn't have any line or many lines and not as quippy because he's interacting with all these people saying like that's a strong theory, that's a strong theory, and then all the cats and the flirking eggs like it was a
Isn't
lot.
that isn't that just another character helping try to push forward the plot, even though there wasn't much of a good explanation? Maybe he had a lot more scenes. Maybe that were cut out. I don't know.
And again, I'm thinking about like uh can't think of the actual name of the show, The Amazing Spider-Man, or the cartoon that had like Shield, and Spider-Man became like an agent of Shield, working with like the White Panther chick and um Luke Cage and Iron Fist. Like, but in those episodes, he would show up at like the beginning, and then he would show up at the end. He didn't really have a major, I guess, plot line through that. So I see what you're saying. He should have kind of like showed up at the beginning to tie them together. Maybe had like a scene or two in the middle where he commented on something, and then at the end to wrap it up. But you're saying he was too involved?
Like if you're gonna have him be a like fourth bill at like fourth or fifth most important person in the cast, make him the fourth or fifth most important person in the cast, and not like coming in every other scene because it just felt really out of place for me.
I will say I think he probably got more screen time than the villain.
Yep, and he probably got more screen time than the singing husband. Which again, what did you? I mean, we'll get to that later. But I was going to ask you about the singing planet. Or
I think that's when I had to take a little intermission
yeah, we're on the same page. Like they started singing, I'm like, and I'm out. Well, what about you, Badger? What was your opinion on
because I don't remember a singing husband.
My impression of what
what the planet that only speaks through song? Like,
I actually feel like that may have been a larger part of the movie that was supposed to be in there to help them coordinate the team to help them, work together better. But also at the same time, it really felt like it was um what's the word I'm looking for? A
stupid.
I guess what they're trying to say by them going to that planet is they knew that Darbin was heading there, and when they got there, it the singing numbers, I didn't hate it. I just felt like, to me, it felt like there was no sense of urgency to get things ready. Just be like, hey, we're at this planet. Let me tell you, it's gonna be weird. Let me warn them real quick, and let's get prepared. It just seemed like it was too much to sit on when you're watching the movie. It didn't take me out of the movie. It was just, I was thinking, if Darwin is coming, well, I don't think we have time for this. We need to hurry up and ready our assets.
And I just thought about this going back to Kamala Khan because that scene sort of leaks into this. At the end of Miss Marvel, she gets her suit put on and she's just like a street level hero in New Jersey. And then within a day, because that series ends with Captain Marvel and her changing places, she goes from being a street level villain fighter, street level hero to intergalactic warrior, and they also give her a brand new suit on the water planet. Like, didn't she just get a new
The
suit?
exact same thing happened with Spider-Man, though. I mean, what's the issue there?
Oh, I'm just saying, like, it's different going from like a Marvel TV series to a movie because Spider-Man was still in the Avengers because there was that little back and forth with that.
Yes, but
I
he
mean,
was a street level hero before he immediately went to the airport and fought Captain America. He didn't even have a real suit, and then guess what? He got a new suit.
yeah, but fighting Captain America on Earth as your first introduction is different than fighting somebody outside of a community center.
Okay.
I mean, you're fighting all these superpowered people, and you got recruited by Tony Stark. I just think it was too big of a leap from fighting street people and just figuring out your powers to like fighting a warrior who's been like a Kree soldier for 50 plus years.
Well, I guess we all got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna lie, like I was telling GL this. If you guys remember that episode of South Park where Stan gets the tween wave music, I felt like Randy putting on the headphones and listening to the farting the entire time. Like this sounds like crap, but the kids love it, but I hate it. So I feel like that's where I'm at with a lot of Marvel stuff nowadays. It's not the Marvel I grew up with. It's not the stuff I grew up liking, or it's just crap to me.
Well, and I respect what they're trying to do. I respect they're trying to introduce characters while also using older characters, but also introducing newer characters. Obviously, they hinted at like a Young Avengers thing in the post credit scene, which again, I'm all for. Like I'll watch it, but also I want to see Iron Man. I want to see Chris Evans, Captain America. I want to see Thor. Like I want to see the OG people. Not that I don't like the new people. Like I'm gonna watch Anthony Mackie as Captain America. I guess he's gonna be Captain America in the new movie.
I hope so. Yeah.
Um, like I like that, but I also like the OG Captain America. Tony Stark, like Robert Downey Jr. Like yeah, Don Cheadle can take over Iron Man suit or the Iron Man role or whatever. They've kind of been really quiet as far as has anything post Endgame gone on with any of the Iron Man suits? Like, what's going on with that? What's War Machine doing? Is he still working for the government? Like, I wouldn't be opposed
Did,
to.
did you
Um,
watch Did you watch Secret Invasion yet?
I did not because I heard that it was
I
stupid. I haven't
thought I
watched
answered your
any of.
question about Rhodey.
Okay, because I haven't watched any of the shows since Loki season one.
Well, you watched Moon Knight.
Um, Moon Knight had about the same plot as this movie. Like, I watched it. I have no idea what I watched. There was no progression, and it was over. And all of a sudden, you're in the X-Men universe.
Uh,
That was Moon Knight.
and that brings me to this point: is I thought the CGI was bad. Like when they light up and give the energy to Monica Rambeau, she looked very similar to Axel from Thor: Love and Thunder, like that crappy CGI head when he's talking to Thor. But then it bleeds into when they're in the X Men universe, and I saw Beast. I'm like, this CGI is bad.
That was bad.
Yeah. We all know it was coming. I felt like it was disappointing.
I didn't know it was coming.
I mean, I know you avoid spoilers at all costs, but every once in a while I'll be scrolling on Facebook and be like, oh, is this an X-Men teaser on the Captain Marvel movie? And then like that sort of sets the thought in motion. But I mean, I'm okay with X-Men coming, but if it's gonna look like that, no, thank you. Implications for X-Men in the MCU. What was your thought on that post credit scene, Bat Drew?
Because there was only one post credit scene. That was when she woke up and her mom was there, or that multiverse is, I guess, binary. Oh God, what is her mom's name?
Rambo,
Captain Rambo.
Mrs. Rambo.
Rambo.
Is
When
it?
Mrs. Because when Mrs. Rambo showed up when Monica woke up, and I was like, oh, cool, they're in another universe where she's alive, but she looks like she's in a super suit. Maybe she's a hero, and come to find out she's binary. And then we see like in the theater, I'm watching this blue hand walk across, and I hear this voice, and I'm like, yo, is that Beast? And then they show Beast, and then they're like, oh, so she went into the Marvel, or not Marvel, the Fox universe of Marvel properties. So, or a Fox universe, because immediately when I first saw that, I was like, oh shit, what universe could this be? Could this be the end of where they ended Days of Future Past with it being all peaceful and stuff? Or is this like an entirely new take on X-Men? So that did get me excited to go forward and see how they're going to get her back to, I guess, Earth 616, because that's where they are. But yeah, it was a little bit of ooh and cool. But yeah, I really would have liked it better if they just put him in prosthetics. But maybe the CGI for that scene wasn't as on point because they had to put it together real quick, and they knew it was only going to be 15 seconds of screen time. They were like, whatever. Hopefully they'll understand.
Yeah, but you're a multi-billion-dollar corporation making movies, and you're just gonna say, good enough. Then why even making movies?
I just
to
want to
save money,
see.
live better.
I want to see Monica Rambeau and Gambit get together and like hyphenate their names.
Gambit Rambo.
Well, in Gambit's name, like Remy LeBeau or something like that.
LeBeau
So
Rambo.
LeBeau Rambeau,
Oh,
Rambo LeBeau.
Rambeau LeBeau, and then throw in Rocky Balboa, Rambeau LeBeau Balboa.
oh God, that's horrible. But it, it was just another Marvel movie for me. Felt everything was flat other than Kamala Khan.
So, so I have to say, with this one, what phase are we in? Is it still phase five?
Yeah, I think so.
I'm not even worried about the phases anymore because it's too much to keep up with.
I'm just thinking, like, out of the past few movies that's come out, for me, this was the worst one because I guess you've got Shang-Chi.
That was good.
I like that. You've got the Eternals,
Never saw that.
um, Quantumania. I guess you do have the Spider-Man movie and the Doctor Strange movie,
And
and then
Wakanda
this
for
one, and Wakanda Forever,
Guardians 3.
Guardians 3. So that's like 8 movies. And out of those 8, this this would be above Eternals. Eternals would be the lowest for me, and then this would be second lowest for me.
This, in my opinion, this was the worst superhero movie that came out this year. And
I enjoyed it.
above Blue Beetle. And that includes Blue Beetle, so I'm just saying.
Well, I
Even
enjoyed
with
Blue
all
Beetle.
its even with all its flaws and feeling like it was rushed with certain things and took too much time on others, I still enjoyed it.
I think it could have done better. Like you're Bet Drew talking about it being rushed. Do you guys think it could have been better as like a mini series, like a expansion from instead of Miss Marvel getting her own show, maybe it should have been 6 episodes of this.
I maybe would have felt like it was a chore to get through. Just okay, I'll watch it just to because right now I'm feeling like I gotta watch it to keep up with what's going on in the MCU.
And
I kind of feel like
I did lie earlier because I did watch She-Hulk and I liked She-Hulk. I enjoyed that show very much.
I kind of feel like that because Monica and Miss Marvel were in shows first and then they jumped to the movies. Um, they kind of were at this point where they were like, do we explain their backstory more or do we just shoehorn it in because people watch the shows? So to me, people that did not watch Miss Marvel or maybe you remember anything about WandaVision were like, oh yeah, I think I remember seeing stuff about these people, but I have no idea who they are. May have been somewhat confused during this movie, but at the same time, they're like, we already have shows out about them. If they want to know more about them, they'll go back to it. But they also were trying to explain their story without explaining their story, if that makes sense. And I think that kind of took away from the movie a little bit too.
All right. So if you guys were to, if someone's like, hey, the Marvels came out, should I go see it in theaters or should I wait to come out on streaming? What's your opinion? What would you tell them, Bet Drew?
To me, I would encourage them to see it because, from my standpoint, I enjoyed this movie. I did. It was funny in certain points. In certain points, I was also kind of like, can we get going? But
Yep.
overall, I would still say yes. Go see this in theaters, especially to this newer generation of kids that want to get into movies and stuff. And it really feels like a solid movie for another generation of kids that want to see like somebody on the screen that is like them represented on the big screen. Because obviously,
You want to be able to see yourself in the heroes that you're watching.
I mean, growing up, I could, and it was easy. I mean, we had, Batman, Captain America, Spider Man. Like growing up, those were so easy to identify with because I can just put the suit on and boom, I'm him. For this could open the door for another generation of fans to be like, hey, I can be like her. I don't have to be a lady um Iron Man or a lady. Well, actually, I guess you can because they're slowly starting the Young Avengers with this. But overall, yes, I would tell people to see this in theaters. I did enjoy it, and going forward, I think that this like the ending scene with Kamala Khan recruiting Kate Bishop for, I guess, a Young Avengers team up. that really to me felt like at the end of Iron Man 1 when we saw Nick Fury in that after credit scene where Nick was saying he's going to put together a team or Avengers Initiative stuff. So for me, I'm looking at this as like let's cut the tape where we're at with all this MCU stuff. And this is going to be for me like not literally like the Marvels is going to be like Iron Man back in 2008, but it's kind of like a let's start here, go forward with something different, and let's try to create the that Infinity Saga going forward now with Young Avengers and see what else they can do with this with all the new heroes that were in the place of the OGs.
GL, if someone said, should I go see it in theaters or should I wait till streaming? What would you say?
I'd wait to find another activity that you can do, like play on your phone or something while you watch it. Um, I'm a completionist, so I would recommend that if you've seen all the other 50 Marvel movies, go ahead and watch it. Just so that you can say you did. But
Yeah.
I wouldn't watch it again.
I agree with you. If it all depends on the situation, but if somebody comes up to me and they're like, "Hey, Saul's came out. What'd you think?" And I was like, I'd wait for streaming. But if they're like, "Oh, my kid really wants to go see it," take them because this Marvel to me, I think Marvel is leading away from people who watched the first Iron Man and said, "This is mine." They're branching out to make it more, different enough for the newer generation. So if you have kids, sure, take them. If they like Miss Marvel, take them. But if it's just you, wait for streaming or read the cliff notes and call it a day. That's what I'd say.
I would comment on Bat Drew's statement about the Avengers Initiative and starting the Young Avengers. I'm game for that. Like, let's get it done. But don't have a weak ass kitty villain. Like it needs to be a big villain like Thanos or something like that, and we need to see them come together and take them down. We don't need a Mysterio or something like a minor villain for them to fight. We need a major villain for them to fight. That's my only.
All right, bros. That was Marvel's latest outing with the Marvels. What did you guys think? Was it marvelous? Was it not so marvelous? Please like, comment, and subscribe. Let us know. As always, I'm Hokey Joker with Just Us Bros.
Drew.
Green Lantern. Kazam.
Please like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what movie you want us to talk about next. As always, guys, cheers.